In this lesson, we're going to add parameters, or in family language, labels, to our dimensions. This part takes some thinking. Think about how flexible you would want your family to be in the model. For example, if you have a cabinet, would you want the length and the width to be parametric, meaning adjustable for the user? You would. If you have a piece of cove molding, would you like the user to be able to specify different sizes? I think you would. You can make a family as flexible as you want. Just try to think it through first. The objective of this exercise is to create parametric labels, then we're going to append the labels to our dimensions. Open the file you saved called Cove and follow along. The first thing I'm going to do is zoom in to this 1 foot dimension. I'm going to select it. For my label dropdown, I can add a parameter. Go ahead and select that. Now, welcome to the parameters property dialog. You're going to see a lot of this if you're going to be doing families. Let's take a look. This part is grayed out. This part down here is the name. The first thing to know is these parameters are case sensitive. We can add parameters together in mathematical expressions. However, if we mistype the parameter name, being if we don't have the right capitalization, Revit won't recognize it as an actual word. So think it through when you give it a name. I like to name my stuff as it would look in a parameter that Revit would give us, like this. I like uppercase, lowercase, that just makes it cleaner. However, that's up to you entirely. I'm going to call it depth. Now let's move on to the next thing. Type or instance, we have two choices here. Just know this, again, if you add these parameters together in a mathematical expression, it has to be either a type or an instance. They have to be the same category. If a type parameter is selected and you change the depth, you're going to change the depth of every piece of cove molding in the entire model. If you keep it on instance, the user only changes the depth of the cove molding for the cove molding they have selected. It's a big decision. This decision, I'm going to go with type. We're going to group them under dimensions, and we're going to click OK. Let's select this dimension and add another parameter to it. Label, add parameter. Let's call it height. We're going to leave it as a type parameter because that's basically the path we're going down. And we're going to group the parameter under dimensions. And we're going to hit OK. Another thing I want to do is add these two to a parameter. So holding down the Control key, I'm going to select my 2-inch dimension and my 2-inch dimension. My label, I'm going to add a parameter. I'm going to call this reveal. I'm going to keep them as a type parameter, and I'm going to group them under dimensions. And in a moment, I'll show you where that grouping goes. Click OK. Select your reveal equals 2 inches and just kind of leader it out a little bit. It's good to get into the habit of basically cleaning these up a little bit. Once we get into more complex families, you're going to see that organization is very important. Now let's do one last thing. I want to go look for where those parameters are going. So on the Properties panel on the Modified tab is a button that you're going to go to a lot. It's called Family Types. Look familiar? Here they are. We could add parameters here. We can lock parameters. We have a value. We have a formula. Let's concentrate on this area right now. The height and the depth for this, I want to remain the same. So what I'm going to do is, my height is going to actually equal my depth. So in Revit, we can add a simple expression that just says the word depth. So in the formula for height, type the word depth. Remember, it's case sensitive, so if you hit enter, it should take it. Click apply, click OK. Now, one thing I'd like to do is go back to the family types. This is where flexing the model comes in handy. For my depth, change it to 6 inches. For my reveal, change it to 1 inch. Height should go to 6, reveal should go to 1 inch. Click apply, click OK. Look at that. Everything's scrunched down based on our increments. This is control of a family right here. Let's go back to the family types. Let's change those items back to where they were. Reveal will be 2 inches. The depth wants to be 1 foot. Click apply. Click OK. Wow. See how flexible this is? All families should go this way. Being regimented in the way in which you go about modeling a family is a must. Adding labels and understanding the difference between an instance parameter and a type parameter, and knowing that the two can't be added together, is a must.